Oh, you know it's off the chain.
Bang! Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, wherever you're listening to this from. Off the Change podcast is back, ladies and gentlemen, and this is a very, very special episode. This is about the women. I'm already, I can't even speak
Woo!
today. Always and all the time surrounded by my beautiful co-hosts and dynamic co-hosts. But now I have 4, 5, 6 beautiful women around me who are all prestigious in their own whatever they do. Today is their day, and we're gonna have a great day today. First of all, I'd like to introduce, as always, my dynamic, my beautiful, my talented co-host, Miss Kristy Nong, and Off the Change. Give it up to Kristy Nong.
Woo!
Kristy, how was your week? How you doing? What's up?
Oh man, the week's been great. It's busy as usual, and the weekends is business as usual.
Yeah,
And here I am with you fine people, so I'm excited. I'm
good.
excited.
I'm
We're ready to
excited.
make this happen, and I want to hear about all these beautiful women and their wonderful stories, and and their success.
That's what I'm talking about. Before we get to that, I got to tell you my off the change moment. My off the change
All
moment
right,
of the
let's hear
week.
it.
I got the vaccine. And let me tell you this here. People would always tell me, "Oh, Steph, you get the vaccine." It was nothing for me. I did it, and it was nothing. I had the most miserable 48 hours of my life. You understand me? It was I almost didn't make it. I
Ooh.
never should have made. Almost Marvin Sapp was singing the whole weekend to me. You understand me? 104-degree temperature, tremors, and
Ooh.
I'm a big baby when I'm sick. Huge baby when I'm sick. I don't get sick, but I'm a huge baby when I'm sick. So I had to call in reinforcements. People I hadn't spoken to in weeks, years, had to come take care of me because I'm single now. But I had
Oh,
to get
poor little
somebody to come.
Ting.
Somebody had to come. I was calling 119 immediately. Come get me. But yeah, I'm good now. I'm back. I'm ready. Off the change. I lost 10 pounds and I can't afford to, but I'm ready. You understand me? It's gonna
All
get
right.
good. So I want to introduce our guests for this week. Introduce them and tell us what we're in for.
All right. So let's go ahead and start with Dr. Newton. Ladies, what we want to do is introduce yourselves, let us know who you are and what you do, a little quick snippet so our guests can figure out who you are and how awesome and amazing you are.
Okay, where I'm Dr. Akele Newton. I am a counselor at a high school, originally from Oakland. I came up here in Sacramento in 2014, and I have 3 beautiful girls. How about me?
Wow.
Oh, okay.
East Oakland or West Oakland? Which side? Which?
Deep
East Oakland. See, when you're from East Oakland, you say I'm from Oakland, but East Oakland, because you got to make that clear.
I see it. Whoa,
So
you got
people know.
a doctor from Oakland. I can't wait to hear about this today. Okay, go ahead. Next.
All right. Next, Trang, you wanna introduce yourself next?
Yeah, so my name is Trang. I go by Trang-A-Lang, born and raised in Sacramento. I'm a
Woo.
quality assurance manager at one of the leading food and beverage manufacturing facilities in the world. We produce Monster, Arizona, Body Armor, Coca-Cola, you name it, we make it. So I've been there for 9 years now. I'm a mother of 3, 18, 10, and 7. And I'm here.
Trang-A-Lang.
All right.
Trang-A-Lang. We're gonna talk about that gap in kids too. There's something going on there. All right, go ahead. Next.
All right. Miss Royal, would you like to go next?
Yes, hello. I am Shywanda Royal. I am a high school teacher. I am also the lead teacher of a high school here in Sacramento. I also opened a business last year called Royally Sweet Keto because why not? And I am originally from New Orleans, Louisiana. Traveled around the world, well, around the country, and settled in Sacramento for the last 7 years.
Wow, this is gonna be
All
outstanding.
right.
Shywanda, Shywanda. You remember that name? Remember that game? My name is Shy. Yeah.
All right, Alanna.
Whoop, whoop.
Ooh, tell us about yourself, girl.
Hello. My name is Alanna McWilliams. I am an essential worker. I work in social services as a case manager. I help homeless veterans find housing and link them to community resources. I am a mother of 2, and I have known Doc Newton since she was 12.
You said
She
12?
was my first friend
Wow.
in junior high.
Oh, this
Oh,
is
She
dope.
is
So
my sister. I love me some her. She is my like 12. We
Hey, Alanna.
are 25 years
Wow.
in the game. Right.
Wow.
We got some bones and some stories.
Hey,
Oh.
Alanna, are you speaking to us from the
Yes.
U.S. or are you in Iraq?
Uh-oh.
Are you in?
Oh, my phone keep cutting in and out.
Are you in the U.S. or are you in Iraq? If you're in Iraq,
Yes.
just let me know if you're in a bomb shelter. We can talk around it.
I am in Sacramento.
Okay.
I grew up. I'm inside. It's just, I don't know. The internet not working today. I don't
Yeah,
quite know.
I know.
I can try from my phone. You want me
That's
to call in
okay.
from
No,
my
you
phone?
good.
Let me,
You good.
hold
It's
on.
okay. You got
Let
that
me see my
blockbuster
phone.
video. That
Please
blockbuster
hold.
video Wi-Fi. Remember that? You had to get the app. Put the
Yep,
ding,
that's
ding,
right
ding.
there.
I got it. It's okay. It's all right.
Hold on.
All
I'm
right.
trying to find it. Wait. Oh, there it go.
All
Let's
right.
see. Does it work?
Well, welcome, ladies. Welcome all of y'all to Off the Change. Really appreciate y'all being here. Kristy, I'll let you take the first question. Go ahead, lead from here.
All right. All right. So Dr. Newton, tell us a little bit about your journey in getting your doctorate. Because I know that success doesn't happen overnight. So tell us about your struggles, how you got there, and why you decided the counseling field.
So that's a loaded question. Not fair for the first question. Like, what's your favorite color? How long you that's a whole lot.
Oh, you want me to ask dating questions?
No.
Uh-oh.
We
gonna
gonna
skip with this
stick to we'll stick to professional. So I have always known I wanted to speak up for those who didn't have a voice. So when I was in elementary school, we had some terrible thing that happened to one of our classmates. And I remember a child psychologist coming in one by one and bringing us into the office and talking to us and letting us know it was a safe space. And very early on, I was probably in maybe like the 4th grade. And I came home and I told my mom, like, that's what I want to do. Like, I want to make sure that kids who can't talk feel safe and have a voice. So as I navigated through middle school and high school, I started researching more and more about what this thing called child psychology was. And I realized once I got to college that, okay, if I want to be a child psychologist, that means, or a psychiatrist, that I have to go to medical school. And that's like an extra 4 years, which that I didn't have, right? I was first generation in my family to get a bachelor's, to get a master's, and to have a doctorate. And so I just knew time was of the essence. So I didn't need or have that extra 4 years to do this other thing. Not to say that I wouldn't be great at it, because I think I would have been. And so I started navigating after my senior year of college. Okay, what are some other things that I can do that's kind of still in the same field with my passion of helping kids, but not necessarily making it to where I have to do 4 years of medical school and more money. And so I was talking to a friend one day and she was like, oh, my old school had this great counselor. And she started talking about all these great experiences. And I remember as a kid in high school, I didn't have the best counselor. I didn't know of all of the scholarships and things that was available for me.
Options and everything.
I just didn't know. And so I kind of felt like, especially being first generation, my mom always told me education is the way to go, especially growing up in East Oakland. You can be more than what you see. And although she couldn't give me the route to college, she knew that it was important. So I just felt like that was an integral part of my life, that if I had an adult who cared to show me the ropes and tell me all the things that are available, I probably could have done this a lot quicker. So that's kind of led me to, oh, okay, well, maybe I want to be a counselor. So I went into graduate school and I absolutely fell in love with it. I fell in love with my classes. It was very different than college. The first few years I was kind of bored and I was like, do I really have to do this? But I'm gonna do it because I'm a nerd at heart. But once I got to work, it was fun for me. And so when I got out, I knew that I could get a job anywhere at a school. I knew that I had job security as a counselor, always be schools. So I came back home and I applied, got a middle school position. So I was a middle school counselor for about 6 years. Then moved up to Sacramento after getting divorced, and then started working in a charter school. And that's when I started working basically like K through 5. And in working with my principal and talking to them about all of the things that they did, I was kind of like, I could do your job. And like I said, I'm still a nerd at heart. So I'm like, okay, well, what else can I do? Like, now that I've got my master's, like, is there something else? And then I'm like, oh, I could get my doctorate in educational leadership. Oh, that sounds awesome. Started the program not knowing what it would take to actually get through.
Right.
And, you know, being the type of student that I was, everything came very easy to me and natural. So when I got to my doctorate program and I had to like combat some really like hard truths about myself and whether, you know, because at this point I was a mother, I was a wife when I started the program. And, you know, how do you balance career and being a wife and being a mom, trying to pursue this degree? If it was not for like my support system, like Alanna knows, like there was plenty of nights where I was like, you know what, I'm done, I'm quitting, like it's over, like I don't even need that degree, like I already got it. Technically I don't need it. And she'd be like, and the other ladies in my circle like, no, you gonna be doctor, so whatever it is, you can cry for like 2 minutes and then
get over it,
you out the door, because you just got to do it. So through it all, through a lot, you know, and the grace of God, because Lord knows, man, you know, through it all, I was able to get it done.
Got it. All right. That's awesome, man. So Trang-A-Lang, tell us what it takes to be a quality assurance for one of the biggest companies in the world. I mean, that sounds like a lot of pressure, especially for a woman in business. So yeah, tell us a little bit about your story.
Yeah, well, I can lead up to the story. I mean, yes, I am a quality assurance manager in a manufacturing facility. And so I work with a lot of men. You don't see a lot of women in this business. So at 4'11", I have to be strong, right? You know, all these men, they're tall, they're big, they're older than me or whatever. They look at me like, okay, who's this little girl coming in here? You have to have confidence. You have to be able to, you know, kind of work with them, because I have to be tough, right? Like I have to be stern. I'm the quality person. And so you have production people that, hey, we want numbers. We want to make cases. Nope. If it ain't quality, it ain't going out. And so you have to be stern. And so I've learned to work with them. I'm not someone that's very easily offended. You know, the way I talk at work is the way men talk to men, kind of thing. You know, I don't care. You know, you're in a room full of men, you know what men talk about. I don't care, whatever. That doesn't bother me, right? That's just kind of how I was built. My parents, they were a part of the Vietnamese immigration here during the early 80s. And that second wave of immigrants were refugees that were not educated and didn't have any money. So they came over here wanting more, right? Wanting the American dream for their kids. So I was always taught that education is the number 1 thing, right? Everything was linear. You go to school, you graduate, then you meet someone, right? Then you get married, fall in love, you get married, then you have kids, you buy a home. That's the way it was supposed to be. I didn't do it that way.
Life happens.
Life happens. But I didn't do it that way. Okay.
Trang-A-Lang had to go left.
Yeah, I went left, and they didn't like that. So I was a single mom. I became a mother at 19 years old. That's why I have my 18-year-old, right? And I was in college, and I had to leave. So I was at UC Davis, and I left UC Davis to go home because I'm a single mom now. I can't go to school and take care of this child. And I knew that higher education was very important. I wanted to graduate college and get my bachelor's at the least. And of course I had to work. I had to take care of my son. And so it took me 8 years to do it. And it was actually really discouraging when I was going through that, because I felt like, oh my gosh, this road is never, ever gonna end. You know, like, why is it taking so long? People, you know, finish their bachelor's in 4 years, but I had my eye on the prize. You know, I knew I had to get that. And even though it took 8 years, I did it. And I finally got my bachelor's degree, right? Because you can't put a big puzzle together without the small pieces.
Right.
And I always want to show my kids that higher education is, you know, the goal too. And so, of course, I graduated and I got my job of where I'm working now. And I've been there for 9 years, and just kind of working through them, you know, and learning as I go. Every day is a struggle. I mean, like I said, there's a lot going on there. you have to kind of work with different personalities. And again, men sometimes they do try to intimidate you. And I'm like, nope, not going to intimidate me. You should see me at work. These guys are like 6'2", I'm 4'11". I come out, what's going on here? Like, no, stop, shut it down. And they're like, oh, Trang-A-Lang to shut it down. Like you have to be confident. You have to kind of be able to go with the flow sometimes, I guess.
Right.
And then of course, along the way, I had 2 more kids. I am married now. And one of the other struggles that I feel like I dealt with, right, as an Asian American, I am the minority citizen. So everything that I'm doing is always supposed to be right. And I didn't always make the right decisions. I actually have mixed kids. So then that put another piece into the equation, right? So I have to kind of deal with my struggles as an Asian American. And then my children, I have 3, 2 of them are actually mixed. They're mixed with African American. And so they go through struggles that I don't know either, right? So I have 2 sons and a daughter. And so it's hard, trying to live in society, trying to be this minority citizen, trying to be a woman, a mom, a mother, a wife, a manager. It's hard. But I guess my creed in life is I just want to be happy. I want to do what's right. And as long as I don't feel wrong in my heart, I just kind of live through life being happy. That's what I want to teach my kids. I just decided that I wanted to get my master's. So I'm actually starting my master's program at the end of the month. I'm not gonna lie, I'm nervous because I'm still a full-time mother. Yeah. So, just hearing Dr. Newton's story of, moving on, it's like very inspirational because I'm scared. I'm a little nervous, but I know that I can do it. I know I want to do it. And I want to show my kids that no matter how the struggles you go through, you can get there. You got to just make your goals because nothing happens overnight. You have to pace yourself, right? You're going to make mistakes and that's how you learn and that's how you grow and that's how you appreciate life, right? You can't enjoy the peaks, you don't have the valleys, right? And sometimes when you're in the valleys, you can stop and kind of smell the flowers because that's where they are, right? So that's kind of my story.
Okay. I mean, that's wonderful. And you know what? Thanks for sharing your struggles too, because so many women have them, but they don't want to talk about it because we're always taught to be strong because you're that face in the front. And, we're always looking at that end goal and then we're also taking care of family and stuff. So thanks for sharing that, ladies, because that's something for a lot of people to remember. And it is very inspirational. Yeah. All right. Shywanda from Louisiana. Let's hear your story, girl.
So my story, of course, starts in New Orleans, Louisiana. And to hear my brother tell it, I was the sheltered child because I basically stayed in my room with a book, wasn't really interested in anybody or anything. But in truth, I am an extremely passionate person. When I get excited about something, I go for it. So that's how I ended up being a teacher. I just kind of naturally fell into education. And then while I was in college, one of my counselors basically walked me through it. She's like, you should be a teacher because that's what you're already doing. So I switched my major, went to English because I'm a nerd. I accept that title. My brother actually... My brother,
we love black nerds on here. Black blurs, we love blurs. It's okay. I'm a blurred. It's okay. Trang-A-Lang too. You black. You blurred. You messing up black men. You blurred. You're blurred too. Tiger Woods, your kids. You good. You got go ahead. Go ahead. The gold ticket. Yeah, you got the gold ticket. You coming to the barbecue? You already at the barbecue. Come on, Shywanda.
So I went to Dillard University in HBCU.
Hey, HBCU.
Yes. Woke me all the way up. I went from shelter to HBCU and I was like, oh, okay. We won't speak about all of those times. And then I actually dropped out of college for a semester to pursue some other things, and then decided to go back and finish my bachelor's in English. And then I really just wanted to figure out what my next steps were. So for my master's, I actually moved from New Orleans and went to Juneau, Alaska. And Yes, Alaska. I know. Yes,
Most people
there
from New
are.
Orleans don't even know where the hell Alaska is. They don't even know it's a state. They think that's still a country or a continent. What the hell? You was like, Alaska? Okay. Your mom was like, I ain't coming to see you. It's too cold up there. Well, go ahead.
She did. She came from my graduation.
That's
She
it.
did.
That's it. That's it. That's it. I ain't
That
coming with
was
nothing
it.
else.
Oh, no. Real facts though, none of my family other than my mom even believed me. I planned to go to Alaska for 2 years before I left. None of them
Wow.
believed me. And at the going away party, they was like, so where are you going again? I'm like,
Right.
Alaska. They was
They
like,
thought
oh,
they
you
would
were
never see you
serious?
again. I'm sure people were like, well, we never see her again. That's
Oh, I got all the jokes.
because I've been to Alaska
All
and
the
I'm like,
jokes.
I said, what for? Go ahead.
Right. And so Shywanda, also tell us about your new journey, Royally Sweet Keto. So why did you decide to start that up during the pandemic?
So I and everyone around me thought I was crazy for starting this business in 2020. But really I started down this journey myself early in 2020 because in the 7 years that I've lived here, so the first 6 years, I actually lost 100 pounds living in Sacramento. And then
Right.
and then to kind of continue that journey, because like I gained some of it back, then I'm like, okay, I can do this. So a friend of mine introduced me to keto. And although it was great because it basically worked with my lifestyle, I said, if there are no desserts, this won't work for me. Because I'm a sweet person. I mean, I'm from the South. Come on.
Yeah.
Sweet
Right.
tea is our only drink.
Exactly.
So
Right. Like sweet tea.
That's water.
like
Yeah.
sweet tea. And all of the desserts I tried were not good. So basically I had to learn how to bake myself, and I started basically testing this on my friends, and it became testing on my keto friends and my non-keto friends, because I'm like, if I'm going to make this, it has to taste good.
Right.
And then some of my friends just kept for most of the year of 2020, like, you should sell these, you should sell these. I'm like, okay. So I started selling them. And the cool thing is it's actually like starting to gain ground and gain purchase here in Sacramento. So now I'm figuring out how to ship foods across the country.
Wow. So what's the name of the business again?
Royally Sweet Keto.
Royally Sweet Keto.
All
All right.
right.
Definitely gonna put it on the
Yeah.
podcast. Definitely.
Absolutely.
On
Absolutely.
the website.
That's right. And just know, ladies, at the end of the podcast, you'll be able to share all of your handles. So if you want to be found, let people know.
Yeah.
Now let's move on to Alanna. Ooh, my girl Alanna. Let's hear your story, because I want to hear about all you're doing with the homeless.
She out the bomb shelter. I can hear her.
No, so I got into social services as a kid because my dad and my stepmom were emergency foster parents. So all of my younger siblings are actually adopted.
Nice.
And I got to see the work that the social worker did. And I said, I wanted to be that change. So after graduating from high school, I actually played around in grade 13 for 5 years before I moved away. Like I am probably one of the only people you will ever meet that got kicked out of junior college. I got suspended from junior college for poor grades.
Wow.
And right.
Yeah.
And that
hear
semester,
that every day from JUCO, from junior college, from senior high school. That's really what it is. You get kicked out of there.
I got suspended from grade 13, and having to sit out for a semester, I worked 2 jobs. I worked at Macy's and I worked at Bank of America. And after working both jobs for 1 semester, I said, this is for the birds. Let me get my act together. And I moved back home. I had moved out on my own. I had moved back home, and I was like, my mom was like, okay, so it's a timeline. You can't just live here. You need to be doing something with your life.
Right. So
you either gonna go to school or you gonna go get you a real job.
Right.
And I was like, okay. And she said, you need to be in somebody's school by the fall. And I was like, she funny. She wasn't playing. So a month before, and Akele, my mama, she wasn't playing with me. A month before school started, she brought me the newspaper and said, since you don't have no acceptance letter, I'm assuming you're about to get a job. So you need to circle every job you can get. Now, this was back when jobs were still posted in the newspaper.
Right.
So she gave me the newspaper and a highlighter. And I said, oh, I'm gonna go to college. So literally the day my application needed to be postmarked, I handed my mom a packet and said, as she's running out the door to a meeting, I said, can you mail this and put the application fee check in it for me too? Appreciate you. And, and she was like, what? And I applied to one school, Alabama A&M. It was my 4th time applying. And she thought I wasn't going to go to college. So she went off on her annual cruise, and she lived her best life on my college fund because she didn't think I was going to college. So she went to Miami, came back, went to Puerto Rico, spent some extra days there, bought some new fancy jewelry overseas. She was living her best life. To come back I got an acceptance letter.
Wow.
She's like, well, how my bank account is set up.
Right.
Now I gotta get this stuff back to Puerto Rico. How you return stuff back to Puerto Rico?
So she then went on this great cruise for 7 days and was living her best life, took some extra vacation time, and came home and was like, I'm exhausted, I'm going to bed. So when I came home that night from work, the acceptance letter was in the mail. So I was like, oh my God, this is like really happening. Like, this is the one school I've been trying to go to since 2001, and I'm finally getting the opportunity to go. And this is now in 2005. And so in 2 weeks, my family pulled it together and got everything situated for school. And at first my mom wouldn't let me go because she was like pissed, like, how's she gonna get it together when I start spending her college money?
Yeah.
And my grandparents were like, you told her she needed to do this. She did it. Now you gotta hold up your end. So my family pulled together. I went off to college, and I too, coming from California, apparently lived a very sheltered life. So growing up in Oakland and Richmond, and here I go, I'm gonna go to college in Alabama. Not Birmingham, not Montgomery, not Mobile. I went to Huntsville.
Right.
Right. So I'm in Huntsville, like, oh my God, what is this? But my family was very clear. We cut checks for 4 years and 4 years only. You got till August of 2009 to
That's right.
get up out of here.
That's right.
And I graduated in May 2009. I did 1 year of my master's at Howard for social work. Realized I don't really like people like that. I don't like kids like that. I don't really want to help y'all like that. I'm a peace out. It didn't work. Every other job I have tried to do, it has not worked out. Like, it's not. As much, and Akele will tell you, I have tried to like run away, like completely run away. I didn't try to do corrections. I didn't try to do probation. I have tried to do public service. I have tried to do customer service, call centers, everything.
And you had a calling and you trying to do something else.
Right.
Won't he do it?
I have realized that my calling is working in social services. So although I don't want to do the clinical side of social work, I do have a plan to work in public administration and criminal justice reform. So I'm still staying in the social service field. I've just been very resistant to accept my calling because although I thrive in it, I was like, I don't like people. I don't like these people. I don't want to deal with them. They entitled, they wrong, they rude, they just a hot mess. Go somewhere. I can't.
But it didn't matter because they need you.
But they come back. Like my previous job, I worked with homeless youth, and I came in to the job one day and I vented to Doc Newton and was like, look here, I don't know what to do. How you don't want to work, you don't want to do nothing, but you want me to pay your rent, and I pay your rent, and all I'm asking you to give me is 30%. 30. That's it.
Not
Cut
even
the check for $271 and go about your business. I don't have it. I'm short. I'm not gonna pay it. Well, I don't really care. Well, you're supposed to pay my whole rent anyway. Look here. Look, I'm gonna need you. Listen, okay, at some point this program gonna run out. You gonna need to pay your rent on your own. We gotta work on some things. And so it don't work. And then I realized that homeless veterans ain't no better. It's worse. Because
Yeah.
now you old. Because before you was a kid and homeless and struggling. Now
Right.
you old
And they
and
old,
grown.
set in your ways,
Yeah, that
cantankerous.
mindset don't change. Mhm.
Got the
It
nerve
don't.
to be ornery, and what
It
you gonna
don't.
accept, how you gonna get it.
All the
Yeah,
way.
all the way.
All the way. And so that is what I do in social service. And my friends tell me, I don't know how you do it. They have been on the phone with me with some of these people that went off on me. Some of these people that have been picky about the stuff that I'm offering them. You homeless on the street, but you got the nerve to ask me, you got some Nikes in your clothing closet? Nikes? You better be happy with this Walmart gift card. Go get you
Right.
some shoes and get out my face.
And I
Right,
just cover them
right.
socks up and get out my
Mhm.
face. You understand me?
Mhm.
That
I'm
is
walking
what
around with one
that
flip
is what I
flop.
deal with. So as much as I'm trying to avoid my calling, that is my path, and that is how I ended up in social services.
Man,
But
fantastic
they need you,
stories.
girl. They sound like they really need you. You know what? So, ladies, we have a food question to ask y'all.
So
Because
before you ask that, I
Okay.
just have to say, first of all,
Yeah.
I'm inspired by these stories, but I
Mhm.
love this episode because my friends laugh at me all the time because as I got older, when you're young, you really don't think about these things, but as you get older, I tell my friends and those of us that are still single, and I tell them all the time because we don't value enough what women bring to the table and who they are, right? And I say
Woo,
that
that's
really
right.
because if you look at anybody who's successful, anyone who is successful, they is either because of their mama or they have a great woman by their side, right? Any man is successful. And you guys have just so many things you guys spoke about are passionate to me. First of all, I'm HBCU, Central State University, education, educator. You went to how? I mean, everything you guys are talking about. And Trang-A-Lang, I'm 4'11" too, and
He's
like
not 4'11". He's a little bit. He's
but
maybe a couple inches taller than us.
but I say that to say, to value you guys, and I always say that the smartest person in the room, the wisest person, is always a woman. Flat out. And you guys get it before us. You're more mature than us, whatever. Men will, if they admit it, men grow up through a woman. There's always one woman, one or two or three that a man grows up through and whatnot. I know I had in my life. So I just want to say thank you for sharing your stories, being here for that. I have a question. On behalf of men, I have some questions I need to ask, right? So
Woo!
quickly, rapid fire round. One thing, if you could tell men right now that you wish you could tell men out there that don't get it like us, one thing men could do better. One by one man. One thing men could do better. Shywanda, we're gonna start with you.
Communicate.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Trang-A-Lang.
Don't be scared to be vulnerable. Share your feelings, share your thoughts. It's okay. You can
Come
cry.
on.
We all cry. We know what's
Come
up.
on. Come
Right?
on.
Yeah, it's
Come
okay.
on.
Oh, snap.
I like it.
Dr. Newton.
That was my thing. Be transparent. There's so many men that feel that they need to lie or tell you what you want to hear and present yourself in a way that makes them attractive,
Mhm.
ugly, and it's not the truth. It's not going to get you anywhere. So just be transparent and let the woman decide if that's what she wants to deal with or not.
Right.
Love it.
Yeah, that's a good. Wow, those are some good ones.
Alanna.
I'm not your problem solver. I'm not your fix-it. I'm not your case manager. I got to deal with that all day. I am here to help you. I'm not your pin cushion. I'm your listening ear, but not your pin cushion. Don't take your aggressions out on me. I can help you. I can listen to you. We can work together through this, but I can't solve it for you.
I love it.
I love it. I love it. It's always a partnership, right? Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Okay. In a sentence or less, what do you feel about traditional gender roles? Start with Trang-A-Lang.
I'm not for it. See, so I am a working woman. I will never be a stay-at-home mom. However, I go home and I cook dinner every night. I find
that's right.
I'm happy to do that. I feel blessed that I can do that for my family. I don't mind making my husband a plate after I make him dinner, right? That's okay. But again, I need to go to work and that's okay. I will say I don't touch the laundry. That's my husband's role.
Bam.
No laundry here.
Okay, Alanna.
We partners. We work at this together. If you pick up where I pick up, like if I'm weak, you need to be strong. If you weak, I need to be strong. But we a partnership. This is not I make all the money. No, I got dreams, goals, and ambitions too. So we gonna work this together. Or we not gonna work this at all.
Love it.
Tell it. Ooh,
Thanks for dropping that knowledge, y'all, Dr. Newton.
Yeah, I would say the same. I would say that it's flexible. It definitely has to be a partnership. There's times where, you know, historic gender roles come into play because I don't want to learn how to change the oil or change a tire. But there are also times where I feel like, yeah, I have dreams and aspirations, and what I want matters. I think that's probably why my marriage failed, is because we weren't a true partnership. So it's flexible.
Knowledge.
He was an
Shywanda?
asshole. Oops, did I say that out loud? My bad.
Ooh, that's all right.
You can say that on this show. As a matter of fact, what's his name? I'm giving him asshole of the day.
That's what we're not gonna do.
Dr. Newton's ex-husband gets off the change asshole of the week. Now, Shywanda, go ahead.
I was too busy laughing. I don't know if I can do it in a sentence or less, because I'm more on the traditional end of the spectrum, with traditional gender roles, which is also weird because I basically have done most of the jobs that men do. That's just kind of how my path ended up. Even to the point that I like.
So you already a damn
naked and afraid type thing.
You probably seen the Loch Ness Monster killed Bigfoot. You what the hell? You
Well, I mean, because one of my jobs coming up through college was I was actually doing floors, so I laid floors for a while. So I have all of these types of skills. I'm more on the traditional end, but definitely partnership. Definitely has to be a partnership.
Okay.
I like it.
I got two more. This one. If teenage blank, whoever you are, could tell adult blank one thing, what would it be? And we'll start with Dr. Newton. I know it's a good question. That's why I do this. I know.
It is.
Right. Ooh, the teenage you can tell the adult you. Wow.
Yeah. Oh, one thing.
I think maybe to always be true to me and be confident in what I believe, in whatever that is. Because there were some times where I made certain sacrifices that I shouldn't have made, certain sacrifices that turned out really great. But
so being confident in your choice making, because you might not have thought at the time that we get to, I love that. Trang-A-Lang?
Yeah, I think trying to please others before yourself, making decisions because whoever's in your life at that time wanted that decision, even though you knew it wasn't the best for you, right? Just trying to please yourself and not someone else. I think I made a lot of decisions to please others and appease others that wasn't necessarily the best decisions for myself or something that would provide me with happiness. And so, that I think that's what I would say to myself.
Shywanda?
So I'm actually the opposite. My teenage self could not give me any advice. I would have had to reverse it, and I would have to tell my teenage self to just be true to you, because I'm more free today than I was as a teenager. I'm more myself today than I was in a teenager. As a teenager, I was in a box. As an adult, I've decided to burn that box and just be me.
We so glad you did too. I'm glad you burned it, girl. Shywanda, girl, burned it. Alanna.
Can't wait to hear this. Tell us, Alanna.
Actually, on both sides, like my teenage self would probably say, always follow your dreams. Like, don't put them on hold. Don't get sidetracked. Stay focused. Right. My adult self would probably go back and tell my teenage self, stay focused and don't ignore the red flags. I spent a lot of time because of the feel or the passion that I have to always want to help people and see the good in people. I made a lot of sacrifices based off of always trying to see people's potential and meeting them at their potential rather than where they are. And so my grown self will go back and tell my younger self, stop trying to do that.
Yeah.
Meet yourself where you at.
Sometimes you got to let them go, right? You got
potential don't pay bills.
No, sure don't. Ooh,
and they will give you ulcers, blood pressure, high blood pressure, make you sick, and you are more worried about them than they are themselves. So
potentially you real hungry, extra hungry.
Right.
Okay, last question. First date turn off.
First date
what
turn
would be
off.
a first date turn off? Like you'd be like, you sit at the dinner with this dude, he may look good, may fine, may smell good, and then first date turn off.
All right, Trang-A-Lang, let's hear you.
All right, well, see, I love to eat. Okay, if we're on a date, I'm gonna order what I like to eat. I'm not that, I'm gonna get a salad. No, I want like, maybe some shrimp, some chicken, some crab. If he even says one thing about, oh girl, you eating too much, or oh, that's too much, whatever.
He all in your plate.
But that ain't gonna work. I'm still gonna eat my meal though.
I understand, but you won't see him again. There's no second date. I get it.
Don't tell me what to eat. Don't tell me how to eat it. Yeah, I'm not a dainty eater. No. And then I'm gonna, hey, can I have some of your chicken? Can I get a piece? I'm like, that looks good. I want to share my meal. And if he says no, that's a real right then and there.
Love it. Alanna?
Please.
First date turn off. Ooh.
I know there's a lot, but it can be the worst one, the one that you can think of that you like. Just
right. The one that where you're gonna get up and leave.
Like
being unthoughtful. Ooh. If you are like unthoughtful, like I know I got selfish ways. I know I can be selfish too.
So like if he don't bring flowers,
just like,
So like if he doesn't bring flowers or something or what?
Not necessarily if he doesn't bring flowers, but just like his behavior the whole time. I truly believe like I was raised to be like, you pick me up from the house, you open my car door, you open the restaurant door, we talk about what we gonna order. Like you don't just order your food. Like you gotta be like mindful of the fact that I'm like here. In this
don't be obnoxious and selfish.
Right.
Yeah, I can't do it. I'll be like, I'm done. I'm good. I ain't gonna call him back.
That's right. Oh, selfish ass. Don't be selfish ass. Dr. Newton.
I think for me, if you talk about sex, now we could be having a great day and you could probably get the panties, but you will talk your way out of the panties without getting the panties. It'll just be done. It'll be done.
So wait.
So you would go.
I would have dropped him.
You can't mention it. What? You can't even allude to it.
No, like what's the point? No, if you gotta talk about that's just.
But what if it's a drink called Sex on the Beach and you be like, you want sex on the beach? And
you better order something else. A Long Island iced tea.
Hey,
classic mule.
Fellas, don't even say nothing to start with S with Dr. Newton. Don't even say a word on the date to start with S. You understand me? Stay away from it.
Right. Because you heard her, she would have dropped him.
If it's you gotta say sometimes, say sometimes. Don't even say nothing else.
Right.
Don't say nothing else. Shywanda?
Okay. Mine would be like, I'm from the South. We have manners. Oh, you are sitting at the table chewing with your mouth open, and I hear you smacking.
Come on.
I am done.
Come on.
I am done.
Yeah.
Don't make them kind of sounds. I hate them in general, but don't let me hear.
I love
and
it.
definitely don't let me see you eating.
I love it. I don't need to see. I don't need to see what you ordered in your mouth too. I get it. I understand. I don't need to see it double. Thank you on behalf of men for answering my question. International Women's Day. We love you. Kristy, go ahead and give him the question.
All right, ladies. So this is going to be a fun question. Now it sounds like a lot of us like to eat. So here's a question. If you can invite 3 people to dinner, and it doesn't matter if this person is dead or alive, you got 3 people, you can invite whoever you want to dinner and think about what you plan to serve. Now, it doesn't have to be something you cook. It could be whatever your favorite food is, whatever their favorite meal is, throw it on together.
Does it have to
while
be
you
a
were
real person?
No, three. Oh, yeah, real, but three dead or alive people.
Mm-hmm.
Dead or alive people. So while you were thinking, I will give our listeners offthechange@gmail.com. Please email us topics you want to see, guests you would like to see. And to the answer of this question, we ask everybody to send in questions, send in the answer to this question for fun. Offthechange@gmail.com. Our Twitter, offthechange@pod1, or excuse me, offthechangepod1. IG Off the Change. And remember, it's all one word. OFFDACHANGE. Yes, I spelled it right. Off the Change is everywhere. Okay. So Facebook, Off the Change, everything. So be sure to look out for us. I am Steph Sanders and Kristy Nong, Foodie Nong everywhere, and a Lumpia Queen. All right.
Woo!
Ladies, who wants to go first? Who's ready?
I take it.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead.
So I would actually invite my two daughters and my brother. My brother passed away when I was 13, and my oldest is actually named after my brother. I would have the dinner with them, and I would let my kids pick the menu. You know, you let a 4-year-old and an 8-year-old pick the menu, ain't no telling what you're gonna get. My
hot
kids
dogs,
bougie.
potato chips, fried pickles.
No, they like
ice cream.
sushi. No, my kids is like sushi, steak.
That's what I'm talking about.
Fish.
All
we
right.
got crab legs.
I want to eat with them.
Right.
But I would invite my brother and my daughters for them to have the opportunity to just enjoy the presence of their uncle.
All right. Yeah,
I wish they would have gotten that opportunity. But that would be my wish if I could have one.
Beautiful.
Man. Yeah, go ahead.
First, I would invite Jesus. I am a Christian, but sometimes my real question for him is, how did you love these people? Like, help.
Come on, somebody.
I need some help. Like, how did you just not slap somebody? Like, as soon as they open their mouth, like, I need some help. So that's my first person. My second person will be Maya Angelou.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
She has touched my life without even knowing me.
Yeah.
And then the other would be Langston Hughes.
Oh,
same thing.
Good one.
Yeah.
They can tell you an English major. Okay.
Right. And what's on the menu?
What's on the menu?
On the menu. So I always do themes whenever I do dinner parties. So I would probably do like a seafood theme. That way I could have so many different dishes.
Nice. Okay. Trang-A-Lang. Trang-A-Lang. Trang-A-Lang.
The first person I would be inviting is my father. He passed away in 2015, liver cancer, but he was I want to say the biggest influence in my life. So growing up Vietnamese, it's a very patriarch kind of family, right? The male runs the show. But my dad didn't teach me that way. He taught us to be strong women, even though in his mind, like, a man's supposed to run the show. And that's why I'm so strong. So I appreciate him. When I became a mother at 19, he was the one that was there for me. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I grew up first generation over here. When I came home and said, I'm having a baby and he's Black, it wasn't good. But my dad was like, no, that's mine. That's my son. We're going to do this. We're going to move forward. And I'm just like, oh, okay. And like our families, I mean, I'm not with him now, but we are so close. And so my dad kind of broke that barrier.
Yeah.
And now, like, grandmommy, all of those are my peoples. Those people are the foundation of my family, my life.
Yeah.
And I love that. I love that my dad was able to give me that type of foundation. So I miss him a lot. And of course, he would be the number one person.
That's good.
And then my oldest son, Jordan, he would be the second guest, just because I had him when I was 19. And so he grew with me, right?
Yeah.
My other two children are younger, so they saw me at a different state and time in my life. I was more established.
Right.
The mom that they know is not the mom that my son knew. We grew up together. He's seen my struggles. And so I would definitely want him there. And just because of my third guest, Barack Obama, just because he's multicultural, and he became the first Black president. That's big. That's a big milestone. And my son is mixed. You know, he's half Vietnamese, half Black. I would never want him to think he can't do anything because he's Asian or he's Black or whatever. I want him to see that you got to have confidence, and you have to have goals, right? You have to have the goals, or you can't achieve it. But I would want him there, because I just think it would be great conversation just with those three at the dinner table.
And what you need.
What I would serve is definitely a good prime ribeye steak dinner, like the whole nine, potatoes, creamed corn, creamed spinach, all of that. And I say that because my father growing up, he loved steak, but we weren't financially there. So when we had steak, we always had, I guess, the poor man's steak. It was always like the chuck. And I grew up thinking, oh no, chuck is good. That's the steak, that's the cut. You know, they're like, no, that's the like ribeye, or like, you know, or whatever. I'm like, no.
Right.
And after having that, and my father passed away before I was established to the point where I could provide him with those meals, you know. So that would be my dinner. My dinner.
That's good.
And I tell you what, Trang-A-Lang can throw down.
I like that. Dr. Newton, what's up?
So my first person would be Michelle Obama.
Okay.
Women Crush Wednesday, women goals all day, every day.
Yeah.
Just inspiring. My second guest would be Martin Luther King. To try to understand what was going on in his mind at that time, and how he had the courage to do what he did. If he even knew that the actions that he was taking were going to lead to so many things, like what he did for me to be Dr. Newton today.
Right.
So just to pay homage and say thank you. My last guest would be my grandmother. She's there for my bachelor's graduation, but she missed the other two. So just to be able to catch her up on that, to let her know, you know, my daughter is a doctor and got the highest degree, I think would just be awesome. And we just gonna do something simple, just some baked chicken, some macaroni and cheese, salad, you know, just something simple.
We crashing every dinner here. Hey. Ladies, this has been fantastic. This is one of the best, one of my favorite episodes by far. Thank
Steph,
you so
forgot.
much.
Wait, hold on, Steph.
Yes.
Steph, we forgot to ask Alanna.
We forgot Alanna. We didn't forget Alanna, did we? I'm sorry, Alanna.
You forgot. Okay, let me rephrase that.
My bad.
Forgot.
My bad, Alanna. I would never forget you on purpose. Go ahead.
Did you start it off, Alanna?
She went for I was going to say,
oh shoot.
I can count.
You know what?
I can't count. One thing I can do is count. I count 1, 2, 3, 5, 4. I counted. Damn it. I know I can count.
Sharon, edit that out.
Hey, ladies, go ahead and give where they can find you. Shywanda, you go first. I know you got to grow, so go ahead and tell everybody where they can find you, all your social media handles.
Okay, so at Royally Sweet Keto, and it's basically Instagram and Facebook. So Royally Sweet Keto, Royally ROYALLY Sweet Keto.
Trang-A-Lang.
Yeah, well, I think LinkedIn, just look up Trang, you'll see me. QA manager, that's probably the best place.
Okay. Dr. Newton.
The most professional place.
Yeah.
I don't know that I want to be found.
Well, okay. Well, I knew that was going to be her answer. I just was I was waiting on that. I knew that was going to be her answer.
All right, Doc.
Because Wakanda and Zamunda does not want to be found. They can't find them on the map. We don't want to see. Alana, go ahead.
Alana.
I only got two. I got Facebook and IG. On Facebook, it's just my name, Alanna McWilliams. On IG is happiness × 2. So that's HAP_.
Oh Lord.
E_NIS, the times symbol 2. The number 2.
That's all right. Anybody write it down? They didn't start writing it down. HAP_. As soon as you tell somebody underscore, they be like, wait a minute, what is the underscore? Wait a minute. The underscore. I know percentage. I know pound. What is?
Well, ladies, you know what?
Like that.
Right. Well, you know, ladies, we appreciate y'all, because what we keep hearing that theme today, confidence, goals. Confidence to me is one of the sexiest things anyone can wear.
Yeah.
Especially a woman, because when a woman can carry herself well, can handle business, and still be, you know, lady in the street, freak in the bed, whatever you want to call it, that's what's up. And I mean, I could appreciate that. I admire you women, and and your stories are so inspirational. So, I mean, you make me feel like I need to get my stuff together.
Got your stuff together, baby.
You got it. What you talking about?
Please, if I may speak, no, you don't need to get yourself together because you got it together. That's why you on here. That's why I love you, and that's why you an inspiration every week. Anyway,
Thank
that
you.
was our Off the Chain segment 1. Thank y'all so much for coming. We love you. We love you. We love you. We'll be right back after these messages from our sponsors. Thank you very much.